Have you ever loved someone so deeply that losing them felt like losing a part of yourself too? You prayed for them. You thanked God for them. You thought they were the answer, the blessing, the person you were finally meant to keep. So when they left, or changed, or disappeared from your life, you started asking a painful question. Why would God put love in my heart just to take it away? And honestly, that question breaks a lot of people silently because nobody talks enough about the confusion that comes after loss. Not just heartbreak from relationships, but friendships, family, dreams, even versions of yourself. Sometimes God lets you experience something beautiful, and then suddenly it's gone. And the hardest part, you don't know whether to feel grateful it happened or angry it ended. Maybe that's where you are right now. You replay memories in your head at night. Certain songs still hurt. Random places remind you of them. You wonder if they still think about you too. And part of you keeps asking, if they were never meant to stay, why did they feel so right? But maybe love was never meant to be proof that something lasts forever. Maybe some people enter your life not to stay permanently, but to change you permanently. Think about it. Some people teach you how to love. Some teach you what love should never feel like again. Some awaken parts of you that were sleeping, and some break you open so deeply that you are forced to rebuild into someone new. That doesn't make the pain fake. It doesn't mean your love was meaningless. It just means that not every meaningful connection is meant to become permanent. And that's difficult for humans to accept because we think love equals ownership. We think love guarantees forever, but life keeps proving otherwise. People leave, people change, feelings fade, timing ruins things, distance grows, and sometimes you lose people while they're still alive. That kind of grief is strange because they still exist somewhere in the world, just no longer in your world. And maybe that's why it hurts so much. But here's another possibility. What if God allowed you to love them because your heart needed to experience that kind of love? Not because they were your final destination, but because they were part of your growth. Maybe before them you didn't know you could care that deeply. Maybe before them you accepted bare minimum treatment because you didn't know better. Maybe before them you were emotionally closed off. And maybe losing them revealed wounds inside you that you never would have noticed otherwise. Because heartbreak has a way of exposing everything. Your fears, your attachment, your loneliness, your need for validation, your inability to let go. Pain reveals what comfort hides. And maybe that's why some losses change people forever. Not because the person was your whole future, but because the experience transformed your soul. Still, that doesn't answer the biggest question. Why would God allow the attachment in the first place? Why let two souls connect so deeply if one day they would separate? Maybe because life is not only about keeping. Maybe life is also about experiencing. Think about sunsets, music, childhood, certain moments that only last minutes but stay in your heart forever. Their temporary nature doesn't make them less real. In fact, sometimes temporary things affect us the most. And maybe some people are like that too. Not every person is sent to stay forever. Some arrive to heal something, to teach something, to awaken something. Then they leave, and you're left trying to understand why. Sometimes there is no clear answer. Sometimes closure never comes. Sometimes the only thing you can do is accept that you were changed by the experience. And maybe that's the hidden tragedy of love. We can't control who becomes important to us. One day they're strangers, then suddenly they become part of your routine, your happiness, your future plans. And then one day, they're gone. But despite all this pain, people still choose love again. Isn't that interesting? Humans get heartbroken over and over, yet they still risk loving again. Maybe because deep down, love itself is never the mistake. Attachment can hurt. Expectations can hurt. Loss can hurt. But love, real love, changes people, even when it doesn't stay. So if you're grieving someone right now, someone you thought God sent forever, maybe stop asking, why did God take them away? And start asking, what did this love awaken inside me? Because maybe the story was never only about them. Maybe it was also about who you became because of them. And maybe one day, after enough healing, you'll realize some people were not meant to stay in your life forever, but the love they gave you was still real.